Ay. It has been a while since I have sat down and tried to record a podcast in any way, shape, or form. I will have to tell y'all this. I am out of touch. The reason I stopped was life. Life happened hard. I also lost the love for why I was talking. I had a dedicated handful of listeners that would come back every week, but I didn't see it growing. But then I also had to remember, I forgot why I was doing it in the first place. I was talking to those that were listening. And for whatever reason, I forgot that. I forgot a lot of stuff. I forgot why I loved doing this camera stuff. I forgot why I loved capturing people. I flat out forgot. That's why I took the break. And I don't regret taking the break. The break helped me realize I had to make a pivot. Excuse my voice, y'all. I'm not fighting anything, I promise. It's just, this topic is heavy for me. When you realize that you fell out of love with what you loved deeply. I fell out of love with camera work because I only saw it transitioning into one sort of way where I always have to be selling myself. I always have to be selling. Lo and behold, now that I am holding a steady job where I always have to be selling. The irony. But that might actually just be adulthood now. You always have to sell something. It's not a terrible thing. It's just a realization that at some point you have to accept you always have to be selling. All of the business books I've read, and even if you add in the 5 that I finished this year, they all say the same thing. Being business minded will always lead to good things. Being business minded is your way forward. I took that statement for granted when I heard it for the first time back in 2010. That's right around when I started my business. I was like, okay, I'm always been business minded. I've always been business minded since I was a child. I was always thinking about the dollars. But that's the problem. I was thinking about the dollars. And then when the dollars aren't coming in, you're second guessing your process. I second guessed my process heavy this year because I have been seeing everyone's testimonials from my field. I've been seeing everyone's testimonials about, okay, videographers doing this, photographers doing this, everybody's going to smaller events. We need videographers, we need photographers. Like, okay, cool. But I want something a little more stable because this is definitely one of the most unstable fields I've ever been in my life. But it's been the only field I've ever been in my life. Well, outside of IT and data management and procurement, the primary one that I've been in my life. I sat down with that and it weighed heavy on me that I am not getting where I'm supposed to be getting, apparently. And that weighed heavy on me. I had to take a step back and realize I need to find out why I love doing this again. And that also, I don't want to treat my gift, because this set of skills was a gift. I don't want to treat my gift like a cash cow and then lose my love for it. So I stopped before I fell out of love with all of this. I'm going to be perfectly honest here and say I've only touched this 2 times this year for client work, because I was slowly falling out of love with it. Not because I don't love the end products or getting to the end product, but the getting to using said cameras, getting to making the products was what weighed heavy on me, because that process requires a lot of selling yourself. I was not on board with the always selling myself aspect of it. And plus, I didn't understand that I was seeing it a certain way and I was seeing it the wrong way. That the selling yourself is not them actively saying, you got to buy this, 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 you got to sell, 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 sell. When in all honesty, it's just reminding. I had to stop there. I didn't get that in the beginning of the year. Now I completely understand that. It's not selling, it's reminding. In a social media era, if you aren't constantly reminding people you exist, you don't exist. I didn't realize that. If you aren't constantly reminding people you exist, you don't exist. I was not on board with constantly telling people that I exist. But I didn't understand that's what I was supposed to be doing. When I took that into account, now I'm back. It hit me like a brick truck 2 days ago. I was looking at it wrong the whole time. I always saw what all of my peers were doing as you're selling, 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 selling. You gotta sell, sell, sell. Chase the dollars, chase the dollars. If you aren't making the dollars, it doesn't make sense. And I completely forgot. I'm older than social media. I turned 30 in like a couple of days from when this post. I am older than social media, and I completely forgot that social media is a fallacy. Social media is the idealized versions of these people. Social media is what they choose to display, and it's usually the best versions of them. I forgot that. I completely forgot that. And then I became one of the people looking at everybody's best versions, comparing myself to everybody's ideal versions, and I completely forgot. This is their ideal versions. They are human too. They are not this perfect. They just show themselves for what the best that they think they are. I completely forgot that. So I was caught in the sell, 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 buy, 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 not realizing it's more of I exist, I exist, I exist, I exist. And now that I've gotten that back, I'm back. It's not you selling, selling, selling. It's you constantly letting people know I exist, I exist, I exist. And with that, I've got a new focus. There's been more of a journey since I last did a podcast. I lost my future father-in-law. My grandmother is currently in her last days. I lost love for what I have loved doing since I was a child. But I found the love rekindled the fire that I had for all of this camera stuff. I've rekindled my love for doing all of this. And I know that my father-in-law is in a better place. I know my grandmother is on her way to a place where she will no longer be in pain. And I also know He gave me the power to push through everything that's in front of me. And that I can and will do it. I exist. I exist. I exist. Tori and Jonathan, I love to help people tell their stories. And this has been TJ Talks, the podcast. I don't know if I'm coming back next week, but I can guarantee I'll be back next month. Later.